There are several ways to open and import bitmaps into Illustrator. By far the simplest way is if you don't have anything open, just go to File, Open, and select a bitmap image. Here I've got a JPEG of a drawing that I've done, that I've photographed and taken into Photoshop and cleaned up a little bit. If I double click the hand tool, that's going to maximize it to fill my frame. Now notice it's maximizing the artboard. If I select my artwork and it's bigger than the artboard, that's not going to really work. Now I can go into my object menu and go down to artboards, fit to artwork bounds, or fit to selected art. And that will extend my artboard for the artwork, and now I can double click the hand tool and have it fit in exactly right. Now you'll notice that I need to really look at it at 100% to see it rendered properly, though. When we view at something like 33%, it's not really showing us great quality in the image. But yes, I can open up a file and it will place it into the document. It uses the artboard settings from the last document created. Another way would be to use Bridge, and if I click on the Go to Bridge button, that will open up Adobe Bridge, and I've got Bridge here in compact mode, which allows it to float over the top of Illustrator. And I can bring in files from here, so I could bring in this PNG file and just open it up. Now that actually places it into the document, so I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to go to Illustrator and undo that. And instead I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to say Open with Illustrator CS6. And that's going to do the same thing. Let me just hide Bridge for a second. You'll see it places my artwork into the document. Now I could zoom out and just scale it down into whatever size I want to work with, or I could change the artboard again if necessary. So other ways of placing artwork into a document would be just to go to File, Place, and place an element in. So if I was to double click on the Photoshop file, that's going to place it into my scene. Again, the artboard doesn't fit, so I'm going to go to Object, Artboard, Fit to Selected Art. And now if I go into my Layers panel, I can move my beach scene behind my little horse, okay, in my little Brighton scene there. Other ways of importing artwork would be to actually bring the artwork in from the Finder or Explorer. And usually in the Finder or Explorer, you can just right-click on an image and choose to open it with the application of your choice. So I'm going to open it in Illustrator. Again, that's going to open up my artwork in Illustrator, where I can choose Artboards, Fit to Selected Art, and double-click to see my entire artwork. So what about multi-layered files? Well, if I go to File, Open instead, and open this beach scene, it has multiple layers. So it will ask me, do you want to flatten the layers into a single image, or do you want to convert the layers to objects? And if I convert the layers to objects, it will place each of them on a separate layer. If I just say flatten and click OK, that's just going to bring the artwork into my current document. Now you'll notice that when you open it like that, as opposed to placing it or forcing it open, it actually creates the bounds around the artwork automatically. So that's probably by far the best way to open a Photoshop file. Now another way of doing that would be either to go to Bridge or to the Finder and just right click and choose Open with Illustrator. And that brings up the choice of whether you want to bring it in and convert the layers to objects or flatten them. This time I'm going to say convert to objects. You can also ask it to show you a preview if you want to. So we'll click on OK, and that's going to bring in my multi-layered Photoshop file into Illustrator. And you'll see that that's great because it maintains all of the different layers from my Photoshop file. And this is my little cartoon animation. Some rough drawings I've done for a cartoon animation for a little dog walking. So that's a few ways that you can bring artwork in terms of bitmaps into Illustrator and work with bitmap images within Illustrator.